Around 8 months ago, I bought this set of adjustable dumbbells from Atletica. Back then, I wasn't quite sure exactly what I wanted, but I knew that I wanted something that was at least somewhat affordable, and I had bought things from Atletica in the past, so I figured these would be a great option. At this point, most of my gym equipment comes from Atletica. This includes my power rack and all attachments for it, my bench, my bands, and well, now my dumbbells. And the add-on weights that I've gotten for them afterwards as well. These dumbbells are very sturdy. I would say they're kind of a mid thing when it comes to the speed of changing weights. They're not as fast as newer bells or pep-ins, but they're also not nearly as slow as spin-lock dumbbells. And I also like that these have a dedicated weight for them. I only have 2 of each size of the smaller Olympic size weight plates, and so even though I have another set of adjustable dumbbells, it's a pair from Kensoi, I could never use them. Buying enough plates to where it would make sense would end up costing a ton of money. You can get these in 2 weight categories. You have the 20 kilo version and then you have the 36 kilogram version. You can also get a barbell with the same plates and locking mechanism, which go up to a total of 29 kilograms. The starting weight of these dumbbells is 4 kilograms. That's the weight of only the handle though. So to get down to that weight, you have to take out these end screws entirely. Personally, right now, I don't do any of the exercises where I need that little weight, but I think it was worth noting regardless because it wasn't really something that was obvious to me before I bought them. Now, on the topic of weight, these go up in 2 kilogram increments. That means that you get some 2 kilogram plates and then you get 4 of these 1 kilogram plates for the smaller adjustments. For most exercises, going up in 2 kilo increments is not a problem at all. But for certain isolation exercises, there's a benefit to being able to make sort of smaller micro adjustments. But to do that, you'll have to get some add-on weights. Atletica sells this pair that you can get as well. You can get either one specific color and weight, or you can get the entire pair. They attach on the inside of the dumbbell, on the handle part. I like to push them to the bottom because they don't really sit completely tightly. So I just like when they're on the bottom part, they don't really move around as much. For me at least, I feel like they're a bit of a nuisance to take on and off. The design is fine, but it's just not really like a built-in thing like the weights are. So I try to use them as little as possible. One good thing though is that because they're as light as they are, they don't really throw off the balance of the dumbbells, despite it being kind of on the inside of the handle. I've seen some pictures where people have 2 of each of the weights, but that would just be double the cost, so I don't personally have that. The way the plates are held in place is not only by the friction of the screw pushing in on them, but also they kind of interlock each of the plates to each other. Because of this, they feel very sturdy, very secure, and they feel like proper gym equipment because of it. If I had to change one thing about the dumbbells, it would be the size of the handles. For me, at least, they're a bit on the bigger side as to kind of what I would prefer, but I also don't have the biggest hands in the world, so you might not feel the same. I also have a bit of a hard time storing these dumbbells right now because while Atletica does sell a heavy-duty table for them, I would kind of want a place to store the dumbbells and the plates separately, maybe as kind of with a slot for them or something like that. And this is just kind of a really heavy-duty table. The weight capacity of the table is 400 kilograms, so I'm sure it'll be plenty sturdy and good for that. But to me, it's just kind of expensive for what it is. So I might build my own stand at some point in the future. In case you're interested in seeing that, stay tuned to the channel. I recently got into hand tool woodworking and feel like this would be a fun project to do.
These are the Eisenlink adjustable dumbbells. These are a budget dumbbell and quite possibly the heaviest, cheapest dumbbell per pound adjustable that's on the market.
This is where the story gets a little bit weird, because as you might be able to tell from the clip I just played, the Eisenlink dumbbells look more or less exactly the same as the ones from Atletica. I figured this was probably just because there are different resellers, in America than there are in Europe or something like that. But then a while later, I got an ad. It was kind of a computer company which sold another square dumbbell, one from a company called Cipro, which look, again, more or less exactly the same, but with a different brand name on them. So I got a bit curious and started looking into it. I came across a Reddit thread where someone mentioned that these QUAD dumbbells were kind of a white label product that you could buy from Alibaba, and people would just resell them with their own branding on them. And wouldn't you know it, you can find these square dumbbells on AliExpress. You can find the table and even the barbell on it as well. Now, to be fair though, I don't know when this listing is from. It could be way newer than the products that were sold on Atletica or Eisenlink or Cipro's website. Who knows? Now, I don't have any affiliation with Atletica, but as I mentioned earlier, I've bought quite a few products for them. So I felt like it was worth it to kind of reach out to them and ask, hey, what's up with this? So I first reached out to them and said that, I'd found these other products. They looked more or less exactly the same, and that I found a Reddit thread claiming that these products were just white label products. And the reply I got was that their internal resources couldn't quite confirm or deny that this was the case. Now, this first reply should be taken with a heavy grain of salt. It's quite normal for companies to hire outside help in dealing with specifically first line support of emails. They stated quite clearly that it was a mail from a virtual assistant. So I wrote back and said that I understood they couldn't quite disclose where the company sourced their products from, but that I was interested in making a review and feared that I might not add any value at all if the product was completely identical to these other ones. To this, I got a response from the actual customer support team stating the following. We manufacture our own products. We have our own engineering team. However, some items such as kettlebells, barbells, and adjustable weights are commodities. And the difference lies in the production process, the materials used, and the small details that are not visible to the naked eye. So even if they look the same, they feel and handle differently. When you see something silver, it could be stainless steel, it could be hard chrome, or just painted. You can make of this what you will, but I think it's worth being aware of. It could be very likely that this is just an OEM product or something, and that Atletica has their own quality control and their way of inspecting things. And even if it is an OEM product, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It doesn't mean that it's a poor product or poor quality product. From what I could tell, there's no real savings to be had by buying it directly from AliExpress instead. In reality, I had a hard time finding the 36 kilogram version. The most of them were only up to 24 kilograms. And when you buy it from Atletica, you also get their warranty and again, their quality inspection. In conclusion, I've had these dumbbells for around 8 months now, and I think they're a solid pick for the price. I've tried traditional spin lock dumbbells. I've tried the spin lock dumbbells from Kensui. I've worked out in commercial gyms and tried the traditional hand weights there, and I feel like these are a great compromise. They're very sturdy, and durability is, at least to me, very important. So I feel like you can have these for plenty of years. After 8 months, there's no wear and tear on them. They're just as good as the day I bought them. I don't fear that these will stop working due to some delicate mechanism for changing the weights. I don't fear that these will break the second I drop them. I think that these will last a very long time. I also don't spend ages changing the weights, and they're still way cheaper than a full set of dumbbells. So personally, I'm really happy about my purchase. I think they're a really solid choice.